Welcome to Unveiled. Unveiled, where dreams intertwine with tales beneath the celestial canopy of the night. As the sun ebbs below the horizon and dusk settles, find your sanctuary amidst the magnitude of the evening. Take a moment to breathe deeply, allowing the echoes of the day to gradually fade into the shadows. Now, as you close your eyes and embrace the tranquility that surrounds you, let my voice become your guide through the enchanting realms that lie beyond the veil of consciousness. Here, within the boundless expanse of imagination, stories sparkle like constellations, each narrative a pathway leading to uncharted wonders. With every word, allow yourself to drift effortlessly on the gentle currents of creativity, releasing the tethers of the waking world and surrendering to the lure of fantasy. In this realm of dreams, where reality merges seamlessly with the surreal, let these narratives cradle you in their comforting embrace, gently coaxing you into a state of serene slumber. For it is here, in the tender embrace of sleep, that the true adventures begin. Embark upon journeys to distant lands, encounter mythical creatures, and delve into the depths of your subconscious mind where the boundaries of possibility are boundless. So now, as you relax and allow the rhythmic cadence of my voice to wash over you, let the journey unfold before your mind's eye. Close your eyes, dear listener, and let the magic of World Unveiled transport you to realms beyond imagination. Good night, and may your dreams be filled with wonder and delight as the magic of the night unfolds its mysteries. A witch's quest for control and controlled beginnings. In the quiet verdant village of Eldoria, nestled between whispering woods and rolling hills, lived a young witch named Takara. Her life, much like the village itself, was peaceful and unremarkable until the day she discovered her magical abilities. It was a discovery that should have filled her heart with wonder and joy, yet it brought with it a shadow of worry. Aurora, unlike the other witches of lore and legend, found herself at the mercy of her powers, ready to wield them with the precision and control she so desperately desired. Elara's first encounter with her unbridled magic occurred on an otherwise ordinary day. She had been helping her grandmother in the garden when a butterfly. Its green was a mesmerizing tapestry of colors, landed on her outstretched hand. Overcome with a sense of connection to the natural world around her, Elara wished to see the butterfly fly higher, to dance amongst the clouds. No, Suma had this thought crossed her mind, then a gust of wind, subtle and fierce, swept through the garden. Lifted the butterfly into the air, indeed, but it also uprooted plants, scattered tools, and sent hats flying into the sky. This incident was but a spark, unnoticed by the world at large, yet it marked the beginning of Elara's own journey. She spent days in nets and seclusion, attempting to understand and tame the whirlwind of magic that seemed to respond eagerly to her slightest whim. As days turned to weeks, Otara's attempts to master her powers became more desperate. The villagers, once kind and unassuming, grew wary of the unexplained occurrences that seemed to follow her like shadows at twilight. It was during this time of growing isolation that Alora's friend, the town, approached her with a problem. The village's crops were suffering from a prolonged drought, and without water, the harvest would fail. Alara, seeing an opportunity to prove her worth and help her community, promised Hayden she would bring rain. She retreated to the forest where the whispers of the wind and the rustle of leaves might guide her spell. With the best of intentions, she called upon her magic, envisioning nourishing rain soaking the parched earth. However, as her emotions intertwined with her intentions, the sky darkened, not with rain clouds, but with the ominous swirl of a burgeoning storm. The storm that descended upon the village and the neighboring kingdom of Amoria was like none had ever seen. Lightning scarred the sky, thunder roared with the wrath of titans, and winds tore through fields and hums alike. Herrera, realizing too late the catastrophe she had unleashed, marched in horror as her desire to be transformed into an agent of chaos. In the cold light of dawn, after the storm had spent its fury, and the silence returned, Lara ventured into the kingdom of Vingoria. The journey, once filled with the anticipation of discovery, was now a solemn march towards the consequences of her actions. Valoria, known for its bountiful harvests and vibrant markets, lay in disarray. Palms that once stood proud and welcoming were now but fragments scattered by the winds. Fields that should have been green with the promise of the harvest were flooded and ruined. The people of Reparia, weary and heartbroken, wandered amidst the ruins of their lives, trying to salvage what little remained. I, cloaked in the guise of a simple traveler, mingled among them her heart, aching with each tale of loss. While magic whispered in her ear now, no spells came to her lips. What use were her powers if they brought only destruction? As she moved through the kingdom, offering her hands in aid where she could, Alara heard the whispers of fear and confusion, a witch's curse, some said, who have test of the gods, others speculated. Each word, each sigh of despair was a weight upon her soul, for she knew the truth of the storm's origin. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows over the ruined kingdom of Illyria, Ilari found a quiet corner in the remnants of what once was a bustling market square. Here, amidst the echoes of despair and the palpable sense of loss, she allowed the full weight of her realization to wash over her. Her powers, the gift that should have been a source of wonder and aid, had become a harbinger of destruction. The stark contrast between her intentions and the outcomes of her actions laid bare the dangerous truth. Without control, her magic was more a curse than a blessing. This moment of introspection marked a turning point for Ilola. She understood now that her journey could not be made of mere atonement. It had to be a quest for mastery and understanding. Magic that coursed through her veins, wild and untamed, demanded respect and decency. Lessons she had yet to learn. The night brought no peace, only a restless determination. There haste that isolation in Eldoria while born from a desire to prevent harm, had shielded her from the crucial lessons that interaction or confrontation with the world could teach. She had been like a ship trying to navigate tumultuous seas without a compass, directionless, and at the mercy of the winds. At the first light of dawn, Elara rose from her place of reflection. Her decision was made. She would seek out the wisdom needed to harness her chaotic powers, to turn them from a source of fear into a force for good. The path would be fraught with challenges, but the cost of standing still, of allowing fear to dictate her actions, was far greater. Before the first light of dawn had fully receded into the brightness of day, Laura had already made her decision. His journey, she knew, was not just about finding a way to control her mesh. It was about healing the wound she had opened, both in the land and in her own heart. Her resolve was like a beacon, guiding her through the preparations with a sense of purpose. It felt both exhilarating and daunting. She understood the good path to mastering her magic would be riddled with challenges, that she would need to confront not just the external manifestations of her powers, but also the internal storms that had given them such destructive force. Elaradz's preparations were humble, for she knew the real tools she needed were not the ones she could carry in her sat. Hell. Yes, she packed the essentials, nourishing food and mother's magical takes. The pages worn, and the pages freed from use. But more importantly, she armed herself with determination, courage, and an openness to learn from the world and its myriad teachers. As the sun climbed higher, casting its warm glow over Doria, Aurora took one last look at her home. The village, with its thatched roofs and cobblestone paths, had always been her place of safety, but it had also been a cage of sorts, limiting her understanding of her place in the broader tapestry of the world. Now, it was time to step beyond its borders, to embrace the unknown with an open heart, an unwilling spirit. In the hush of the early morning, with the village of Eldoria still rattled in slumber, Elara sat about her final preparations. She moved quietly, both to avoid waking her fellow villagers and to savor these last solitary moments in the place she had always called home. Her sad pal packed with essentials and a few sentimental items lay by the door of her grandmother's magical texts, wrapped in a cloth, were carefully placed on top. Before stepping out, Elara paused at the threshold of her small, thatched cottage. She took a deep breath, feeling the weight of her decision settling around her like a cloak. It was a weight she chose to bear, a mantle of responsibility she had accepted. She whispered a farewell to the walls that had witnessed her growth, to the garden that had seen her first faltering attempts at magic. It was no grand departure, no gathered crowd to bid her farewell. This journey was hers alone, a path she had to carve out to the unknown. As she stepped into the cool Gan air, the first rays of sunlight began to pierce the veil of night. Elara did not look back as she made her way through the sleeping village. Instead, she set her sights on the horizon, where the sky met the land and the promise of endless possibilities. Her journey took her first through the familiar woods that bordered Eldoria. The whispering leaves and the soft, earthy scent of the forest floor were a bind to her soul. Her remembered that, though she was leaving much behind, she was also that was here, amidst the ancient trees and the Algerine streams. The hour took her first lesson. Even in the face of great challenges, there is strength to be found in the quiet majesty of it. As the village faded behind her, Lara felt a mix of emotions swirling within her. Fear, excitement, sadness, and hope. She knew the road ahead would be fraught with challenges she could scarcely imagine. Yet, there was also the thrill of the journey, the chance to learn to grow, and ultimately to make amends. The sun climbed higher, marking the passage of time. As Elara continued on her path, with each step, she grew more determined, more resolute in her quest. She was no longer what you had inadvertently summoned, a steward, a seeker, a student of the world, ready to learn the secrets of her power and how to wield it with care and wisdom. As chapter 1 of her tale closes, Awell's journey has only just begun. Ahead lie mysteries to unravel, allies to be found, and challenges to overcome. Yet with a heart brave and true, Elara steps forward, ready to face whatever the world may hold. The northern, uncontrolled powers into a force for good, a beacon of hope, and a bundle that at the dawn of her journey, the story unfolds into new chapters, promising adventures, trials, and the unwavering quest for men. His path is set, her resolve is shaken as she ventures into the unknown. Her story a testament to the enduring spirit of those who seek to make lighter runs and to God and fans and pastness. Allies and obstacles. The island's journey lead her deeper into the heart of nature, where the trees calling towering ancient, the branches weaving the canopy of the sunlight into a tapestry of gold and gleam. It was here in the solitude of the Enchanted forest that they encountered her first ally, an unexpected guide in her quest for mastery over her powers. As the evening drew near, Elara spied an owl perched on a gnarled branch. Its eyes, wise and piercing, seemed to look straight through her, seeing more than she knew how to reveal. The eye was unlike any other, with feathers shimmered with silver and blue, and an aura of ancient magic surrounded it. Who ventures into the enchanted forest with a heart heavy with purpose? The owl spoke, its voice carrying the weight of centuries. Startled by the cow's ability to speak, Elara hesitated before answering. I am Elara, who is seeking to master our powers. I wish to make amends for the harm I've caused and to protect those I care about from my uncontrolled magic. The owl regarded her with a gaze that seemed to pierce the veil of the night. Your quest is noble, yet fraught with peril. The path to mastering your powers is not one of strength, but of wisdom. Seek the ancient book of wisdom, hidden deep within the enchanted forest. It contains the secrets you seek, the knowledge to wield your magic with precision and care. Elara's heart quickened at the mention of the ancient book. How I find this book? And how can I be sure it will help me? The book is protected by the forest itself, hidden from those who are not ready to wield its knowledge. You must prove yourself worthy. Show that your intentions are pure and your will is strong. The forest will test you, challenge you. And if you are found wanting, you may never find your way out. Meow warned, its eyes gleaming with an ethereal light. Lara felt a chill run down her spine at the closed words. The forest was known to be a place of magic and mystery, where many had ventured but few had returned. Yet, the possibility of finding the ancient book, of learning to control our powers, ignited a fire within her. She must face whatever trials lay ahead. Thank you, Wise Owl, for your guidance. I will seek the ancient book and face the challenges of the forest with courage, Celera declared, her voice steady with resolve. Yell nodded, its feather shimmering in the moonlight. Remember, young Mitch, the true measure of mastery is not in the power you wield, but in the wisdom with which you use it. Be brave, be wise. Let your heart guide you through the darkness. With those final words, the owl spread its wings and took flight, disappearing into the night. Alara watched it go, feeling a mixture of fear and excitement. She knew the path ahead would be difficult, but she also knew she was not alone. The wisdom of the owl, the first of her allies, had given her a clue to mastering her powers. With it, hope for redemption. As the night deepened, Era set up a small camp at the edge of the forest. She knew the morrow would bring the first of her trials, but she welcomed the challenge, for within her heart burned the unwavering desire to learn, to grow, to become the witch she was meant to be. The quest for the ancient book of wisdom had begun, and with it, a new chapter in her journey towards mastery and redemption. As the first line of dawn filtered through the dense canopy of the enchanted forest, Clara embarked on the next leg of her journey. The forest, alive with the murmur of leaves and the distant calls of unseen creatures, seemed to watch her with 1,000 eyes. It was said that the whispering forest was a living entity, its roots entwined with magic as ancient as the world itself. With each step, Samara felt the forest's magic pulsing underfoot, gentle, the constant reminder of the power that lay hidden within its bounds. It wasn't long before she encountered the magical creatures that made their home amidst its verdant embrace. Each creature, from the tiny, luminescent fairies that danced around her to the majestic and mud stags that watched from a distance, seemed to challenge her, testing her resolve and her intentions. It was during one such encounter that Elara learned her first lesson in patience. A mischievous sprite, no taller than a rabbit, had taken a liking to Elara's sight. Nimble fingers attempting to undo the game at wasps. At first, Elara's instinct was to use her magic to ward off the spite. that she remembered the Aum. With a word strength was her path to mastery. So instead of resorting to magic, Elara spoke softly to the sprite, asking it to return her belongings. The sprite, surprised by her gentle tone, paused and looked up at her with curious eyes. It was then that Elara realized the value of communication, of reaching out with understanding rather than force. After a moment of hesitation, the sprite smiled. A small, but genuine gesture of goodwill, and returned her sad shell as she journeyed deeper into the forest. Elara encountered more creatures, each with its own lesson to impart. A proud, ancient tree, whose roots had been ensnared by invasive vines, taught her the importance of balance and the need to protect the natural order. In freeing the tree, Elara used her magic, not as a tool of control, but as an extension of her own will to heal and to restore. With each lesson learned, Elara felt her control over her magic deepening, becoming more intuitive. Her spells, once loud and unpredictable, now flowed with a purpose, guided by a newfound understanding of the natural world and her place within it. The whispering forest, with its myriad of voices, had become a place of learning, a sanctuary where Elara could hone her skills and grow as both a witch and a guardian of the natural balance. The challenges she faced, though daunting, were not obstacles but opportunities to learn, to adapt, and to evolve. As she reached the heart of the forest, while the trees grew so tall and thick that daylight struggled to penetrate the canopy, on that moment she had crossed more than just physical distance. She had traversed a path of self-discovery, each step a testament to her courage and her willingness to embrace the lessons of the forest. With the ancient book of wisdom still hidden somewhere ahead, and where it pressed on, her spirits buoyed by the progress she had made. The whistling forest with its magical inhabitants and ancient secrets had shown how that mastery over our powers was not just about control, but about harmony. As the forest gradually opened up before her, signaling the end of this leg of her journey, Elara stepped forward with renewed confidence. The lessons of a whispering forest would stay with her, guiding her as she continued on her quest for the ancient book of wisdom and beyond. Upon emerging from the whispering forest, Elara found herself at the banks of an enchanted river. Its water shimmered with 1,000 hues, reflecting the sky above and the forest behind. The river, known to the few who had ventured this far, was home to spirits as ancient as the forest itself. It was said that these spirits guarded the passage across, allowing only those who respected the delicate bonds of nature to cross. As Elara approached the river's edge, her heart filled with all the beauty and the palpable magic that coursed through the water. She knew she needed to cross to continue her quest for the ancient book of wisdom, but the way was not immediately clear. As she pondered her next steps, the surface of the water began to stir, and from the depths emerged the river spirits. The spirits, ethereal and fluid, coalesced into forms that were both beautiful and terrifying. They spoke in a chorus, their voices a melody that resonated with the very essence of the river. Why does the witch seek passage across the secret waters? They asked, their tone curious yet cautionary. Haran, mindful of the lessons she had learned in the Whispering Forest, replied with humility and respect. I am Nalara, on a quest for knowledge and mastery over my powers. I seek the ancient book of wisdom to learn how to use my magic in harmony with nature. The river spirits regarded her, their forms shifting with the flow of the water. Many have sought to cross for reasons noble and foul. To allow your passage, you must test your resolve and your understanding of the balance you seek to uphold. With that, the spirits presented Apara with a challenge. A portion of the river began to roll and froth, forming a barrier that seemed impassable. Across, you must calm the waters, but not by force. Find harmony, and a path will open. And I understood that this was not a test of her magical strength, but of her wisdom and her ability to work with nature, not against it. She closed her eyes, reaching out with her senses to feel the flow of the river, to understand its rhythm and its needs. Instead of casting a spell to still the waters, Elara began to sing. Her voice, soft and melodic, carried across the river, intertwining with the chorus of the spirits. As she sang, she infused her magic into her song, not commanding the river to calm, but asking, offering her respect and her power was to listen. Slowly, the tumultuous waters began to subside, the whirlpool easing into gentle waves that lapped at the shore. The river spirits moved by Elara's display of understanding and harmony, allowed the barrier to dissolve, revealing a clear path across. You have shown wisdom beyond your years, young witch, the spirit said, their forms blending back into the river. Continue on your path with respect and harmony you have demonstrated, and you will find the balance you seek. Hera, filled with gratitude and a deeper understanding of her connection to the natural world, crossed the river with a light heart. The encounter with the river spirits had tested her, but it had also taught her the importance of harmony, nature, of listening and responding with care rather than force. As she reached the opposite shore, Erara looked back at the enchanted river, now peaceful and serene. The lesson she had learned from river spirits would stay with her, guiding her as she continued her quest for the ancient book of wisdom. With each step, Solar grew not only in power, but in wisdom learned to wield her magic in a way that respected the delicate balance of the world around her. The land, Rafa, the land rose sharply, giving way to a mountain veiled in mist. Legend, the mountain that whispers, it was called, for it was said that the winds carried voices from the past, speaking to those who dared to climb its slopes. Horror with the river behind her and the wisdom of the forest and spirits within her heart. Faced the mountain with a mixture of anticipation and trepidation. The path upwards was steep and winding, obscured by fog and the shadows of ancient trees that clung to the mountainside. As Elara ascended, the air grew thinner, and the whispers became more pronounced, weaving around her like threads of an unseen tapestry. These were not the voices of the wind, she realized, but the echoes of her own fears and doubts, given form by the mountain's magic. You are not strong enough. One voice hissed, slithering past her ear like a cold draft. "You afraid as you have before?" An arm ran out echoing the insecurities that had plagued her since the storm. Laura pressed on, her resolve tested with every step. She understood that the mountain's challenge was not one of physical endurance, but of mental and spiritual fortitude. The illusions conjured by the whisper sought to undermine her determination, to make her doubt her path and her purpose. Enchanted listeners, Lara focused on the lessons she had learned on her journey, the importance of harmony with nature, of understanding and patience, and of listening not just to the voices about her. She began to whisper back, her voice steady and sure, reciting the truth she had discovered about herself and her quest. "I'm stronger than my fears," she owned, her voice cutting through the mist. "I have faced challenges and learned from them. I will not be turned aside by shadows and doubt." As she spoke her truths, the mountain's illusions began to fade. The whispers losing their power over her. Aloud's confidence grew with every step, her determination shining like a beacon through the fog. The path became clearer, the air fresher, as she climbed higher, leaving the whispers behind. Near the summit, the mountain presented one final test. A chasm wide and seemingly insurmountable spanned the path forward. This was no illusion, but a physical barrier that demanded a leap of faith. Yara stood at the edge looking across the divide, understanding that this was the culmination of the mountain's manalnish, to trust in herself and in the journey that had brought her to this point. With a deep breath, Elora gathered her courage and leaped. Magic surged within her, not wild and uncontrolled as it once had been, but focused and harmonious with her intent. She landed safely on the other side, a smile of triumph lighting her face. The mountain that whispers had tested her, but she had emerged stronger, more certain of her path than ever before. As Ahara reached the summit, the mist cleared, revealing a breathtaking view of the lands below, bathed in the golden light of the setting sun. The voices of doubt were gone, replaced by a deep, resonant silence that spoke of peace and acceptance. Here, on the peak of the mountain, Elora found a moment of clarity, a profound connection to the world, into a place within it. The journey down the mountain would be easier, the path clearer, for Elora had faced her fears and insecurities and had emerged victorious. She knew that the road ahead would hold more challenges, but the lessons of the mountain that whispers would remain with her, guiding her steps with the certainty that she was on the right path, ever closer to mastering her powers and achieving the harmony she sought. At the summit of the mountain that whispers, as the sun dipped below the horizon and the stars began to emerge in the twilight sky, Elora found a flat rock upon which to rest. The night wrapped around her like a cloak, and above, the moon rose, casting its soft, silvery light over the mountain peak. It was a moment of tranquility, a pause in her journey that invited reflection and introspection. As she gazed at the moon, its light seemed to guide her thoughts, leading her through the memories of her journey so far. The lad thought of the whispering forest and its ancient wisdom, of the river spirits, and a lesson of harmony, and of the mountain's echoes, which had lured her own fears and doubts back at her, until she confront them. With each memory, Alara realized how far she had come, not just in distance, but in understanding. Her powers, once a source of chaos and fear, had begun to settle into something she could sense and shape with purpose. The journey had taught her patience, the importance of listening, and the strength that comes from facing one's own shadows, and the guidance of the moon's soft light. Alara meditated on the balance she sought to achieve. The chaos that once raged within her, unchecked and wild, was now like a river she had learned to navigate. Its current strong, but no longer overwhelming. She understood that control did their green suppression, but rather guiding her powers with a mindful hand, allowing them to flow in harmony with the world around her. This insight was a beacon in the darkness, a revelation that filled her with a sense of peace. Alara realized that her quest for the ancient book of wisdom was not just about gaining control over our magic. It was about understanding herself, about weaving her own thread into the fabric of the world with care and respect. A night passed in quiet contemplation, and as the first light of dawn painted the sky with hues of pink and gold, Alara felt a renewed sense of purpose. The journey ahead would still hold challenges, but she now carried with her the lessons of the whispering forest, the river spirits, and the mountain mat whispers. Each step had been a step towards mastering not just her magic, but her fears and doubts. With the morning sun rising over the horizon, Alara rose from her place of reflection, her eyes clear and her heart steady. She had found within herself a well of strength she had not known existed, a resilience forged of trials and illuminated by the soft light of the moon. As she descended the mountain, Alara felt a profound connection to the world around her, a harmony between her inner chaos and the natural order. This night, a reflection of the mountain's peak had been a turning point, a moment of clarity that would guide her on the remaining path to finding the ancient book of wisdom and beyond. With the dawn of a new day, Alara continued her journey, her spirit buoyed with the insights gained under the moon's gentle light. She was no longer the same witch who had set out from Eldoria. She was something more, a seeker of balance, a learner of the world's deep magics, and a guardian of the harmony she sought to preserve. The journey was far from over, but Alara faced it with a heart full of courage and a soul lightened by the night of reflection. As the new day dawned and Alara prepared to leave the summit of the mountain, that whispers, a gentle glow caught her eye. There, on the ground where she had sat in reflection, under the moon's watchful gaze, lay a pendant. It was wrought from silver, shimmering with an ethereal light, and at its center, a stone that seemed to capture the essence of the moonlight itself. Alara reached out, her fingers brushing against the cool metal, and as she did, a warmth spread through her, a feeling of calm assurance and strength. The pendant, she realized, was a gift from the moon itself, an acknowledgement of her journey and the growths she had achieved. The moon, which had guided her thoughts and illuminated her path, now offered her a tangible connection to her powers and a protection she needed as she continued her quest. Elara fastened the pendant around her neck, feeling an immediate sense of harmony between her magic and the natural world. The pendant is her guide. Akara's magic felt more focused, her intentions clearer. The chaos that once threatened to overwhelm her now flowed with purpose, guided by the wisdom she had gained and the connection the pendant symbolized. It was as if the moon had woven a thread of its light into her very being, strengthening her resolve and her understanding of the delicate balance she sought to uphold. As she descended the mountain, Elara felt a deep gratitude for the gift. The pendant was her adjusted tool for her journey. It was a reminder from lessons she had learned. That true strength comes from harmony, not dominance. Is found in us from The gift from Moon also served as a beacon, lighting her way through the uncertainties that lay ahead. With each step Elara's confidence grew, bolstered by the knowledge that she was not alone in our quest. The natural world, with all its creatures and spirits, the forests, rivers, and now the moon itself, were allies on her path of mastering her powers. As Elara continued her journey, the pendant remained a constant presence, a source of light even in the darkest moments. It was a symbol of her connection to the magic that flowed through the world and through herself, a magic that was now guided by a hand that was both steady and gentle. The gift from an marked a turning point in Elara's journey, a moment of transition from seeking to understanding, from chaos to harmony. It was a sign that her quest was not just about personal mastery, but about finding her place within the larger tapestry of the world, about becoming a guardian of the balance she had once threatened, but now sought to protect. With the pendant as her talisman, Elara moved forward, her heart filled with a newfound sense of purpose and determination. The path ahead was still shrouded in mystery, the location of the ancient book of wisdom unknown, but Elara faced it with a calm assurance. She was ready for the challenges and lessons that awaited, for she carried with her the gift of the moon, a reminder of her journey, her growth, and the harmony she sought to embody. Mastery Redemption. Gunride's journey, guided by the soft luminescence of the moon's pendant, led her to the forgotten ruins of an old temple, hidden by time and the encroaching embrace of nature. The temple whispered of ancient magics and secrets long buried. It was here, amidst stone and silence, that Elara felt the pull of her quest drawing to a momentous discovery. The air within the temple was thick with the scent of moss and the weight of history. As Elara moved to the collapsed halls and overgrown vine-lies, her pendant clanked with a serene light, guiding her steps and comforting her heart. It was a beacon leading her to the heart of the ruins where, beneath the canopy of reeds and vines, lay the object of her long search, the ancient book of wisdom. The book was bound in leather, etched with symbols that shimmered with a magic both old and alive. It rested upon a stone pedestal, as if waiting for her arrival through the ages. Elara approached with reverence, her fingers trembling as she touched its cover. The moment her skin made contact, a warmth spread through her, a connection that resonated with the very core of her being. As she opened the book, the pages fluttered as if breathing a sigh of release, eager to share their contents with one who might prove herself worthy. The script within was illuminated, written in ancient language that Alara found she could understand, as if the words were being whispered directly to her heart. The book spoke of mastering magic, of the importance of balance within and around, and of the harmony between the caster and the cosmos. The knowledge contained within its pages was vast, covering the foundations of magical practice, the understanding of natural forces, and the art of weaving spells that aligned with the rhythm of the world. It taught that true mastery came not from imposing winds will upon the elements, but from becoming a conduit for the natural order, abiding in being guided in turn. As Alara delved deeper into the book, she realized that the wisdom it offered was not just about controlling their powers, but about transcending them. It spoke of a state of being where magic flowed as naturally as breathing, where every spell cast was an act of respect and love for the world and its intricate balance. The ancient book of wisdom also contained warnings, tales of those who had sought to dominate the forces of nature for their own ends, only to be consumed by the very powers they sought to control. It was a sobering reminder of the path she had once spent on, and the destruction the dark unchecked magic could have wrought. With the book in her hands, Alara felt a profound sense of responsibility. The knowledge it contained was a gift, but also a burden. She knew that she could not keep it to herself, that the lessons of balance, harmony, and respect for the natural order were ones that needed to be shared, to ensure that the magic of the world remained a force for good. As she left the temple, the ancient book of wisdom securely in her saddle, Adela felt changed. She was no longer the uncertain witch who had set out from Aldoria, nor the seeker who had traversed forests, rivers, and mountains in search of mastery. She was a guardian of wisdom, a protector of balance, and a teacher of the sacred harmony between magic and the natural world. Their journey back into the world outside the temple was one of contemplation. Alara knew that the road ahead was not just about her own redemption, but about bringing the wisdom she had acquired to those who needed it, to heal the wounds of the past and guide the use of magic towards a future where harmony prevailed. With the ancient book of wisdom as a guide, Alara stepped forward into the next chapter of her journey, one of mastery and redemption. With the ancient book of wisdom as her guide, Alara retreated to a secluded glen, a place where nature thrived in undisturbed harmony, to begin the next phase of her journey. Here, and is a canopy and ancient trees, is surrounded by the gentle murmur of the nearby stream. She dedicated herself to the mastery and the chaos that had once defined her magic, that had brought both wonder and destruction. Now awaited her guidance, ready to be shaped into a force for good. Each day, from the first light of dawn to the soft glow of twilight, Alara immersed herself in the teachings of the book. The language of the ancient text, once foreign, now flowed through her mind with ease, its wisdom resonating with the lessons she had learned on her journey. The book spoke of the intricate dance between the elements, the flow of magical energies, and of the delicate balance that must be maintained to ensure harmony within and without. Alara practiced with tireless dedication, weaving spells that sought not to command, but to collaborate with the natural world. She learned to listen to the whispers of the wind, to understand the language of the fire, to feel the deep, steady pulse of the earth and of her feet, and to draw upon the fluid strength of water. Her magic, once a wild torrent, became a graceful stream, guided by intention and a deep respect for the life that thronged all around her. As she honed her skills, Laura discovered that true mastery lay in the acceptance of her own limitations, in the understanding that she was but a single thread in the vast tapestry of existence. This humility, far from diminishing her power, deepened it, connecting her to the endless well of magic that coursed through the wall. The ancient book of wisdom taught her to harness her chaotic magic in ways she had never imagined. Spells that once sparked and flashed with unpredictable energy now were filled with purpose, aiding in the healing of wounded plants, calming storms before they could unleash their fury, and they nurturing rash in places of dedicated ruin. Ara's magic became an extension of her will to protect, to preserve, and to promote balance. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky with hues of orange and purple, Alara felt a profound shift within herself. She had reached a state of harmony, where magic responded not to her command, but to her connection with the world around her. It was a moment of transcendental clarity, a realization that she had become what she had once sought, a master of her powers, a guardian of balance. In that moment of stillness, with the ancient book of wisdom resting beside her, Alara understood that her journey was not yet complete. Mastery of her magic was but a step on the path to redemption, a foundation upon which she built her efforts to heal the wounds her uncontrolled powers had once caused. As the stars began to twinkle in the night sky, Alara made a vow. She would return to the places touched by her chaos to offer healing and restoration. She would share the wisdom of the ancient book with those willing to learn, to ensure that the magic of the world would be wielded with care and respect. And she would stand as a guardian against those who sought to disrupt the balance, to protect the harmony she had come to embody. With a heart filled with determination and a spirit alight with purpose, Alara closed the ancient book of wisdom and looked to the stars. Her journey of mastery was complete, but her quest for redemption was just beginning. In the heart of the land that had once borne the brunt of her uncontrolled magic, Alara stood upon a hill, the ancient book of wisdom clasped firmly in her hands. The sky above was clear, a canvas of deep blue stretched as far as the eye could see. It was here, amidst the beauty of a serene day, that Vanara chose to face her final test, a demonstration of her mastery over the chaos that had once defined her. Drawing a deep breath, Alara opened the book to a page she knew well, one that spoke of the elements and their temperaments, of wind and water, and the delicate dance between them. She began to chant, her voice soft but steady, weaving the ancient words into the fabric of the air around her. The pendant around her neck, a gift from the moon glowed with a gentle light, the beacon of her connection to the natural world. As she chanted, the sky began to darken, clouds gathering with unnatural speed, swirling around the hilltop in a display of power that mirrored the storm she had meant fear. At this time, Galare stood calm and resolute, her heart at peace. She was not here to unleash destruction, but to demonstrate her harmony with the forces she once could not control. The wind howled and lightning flashed, the storm growing in intensity, a testament to the strength of her magic and her will. But there was no fear in Elara's heart, only a deep, unwavering focus. She raised her hands to the sky, feeling the energy of the storm coursing through her, wild and potent, yet no longer beyond her grasp. With a final, whispered command, Elara calmed, Elara calmed, and then found wisdom, out of understanding of balance and harmony. The storm responded, not as a servant or master, but as one force of nature to another, recognizing the respect and reverence with which it was summoned. Slowly, the winds began to calm. The clouds dispersing revealed the sun. Once more, the storm, which had raged with such ferocity, now faded into a gentle rain, nourishing the land below. Elara lowered her hands, watching as the last drops of rain fell to the earth, a symbol of renewal and healing. She had summoned the storm, not as a demonstration of power, but as a testament to her mastery over her own chaos, to her ability to bring peace where once there was destruction. The people of the land, who had watched from a safe distance, marveled at the sight. They had known the terror of the storm Elara had unwittingly unleashed before, but now they witnessed a display of true mastery, a harmony between the witch and the natural world that was both awe-inspiring and humbling. Lara turned to face them, her eyes shining with tears of relief and joy. I once brought chaos to your doorstep, a storm born of my inability to control the magic within me. She spoke, her voice carrying in the gentle breeze. Today I stand before you not as a harbinger of destruction, but as a guardian of balance. The storm you witnessed was my promise, my vow to protect and nurture. Dean is my powers for healing and harmony. The ancient book of wisdom closed gently in her hands, its teachings now a part of her, guiding her actions and her heart. Elara had faced the final test and emerged, not just victorious but transformed. She had tamed the storm within, from without, proving her mastery in taking the first step toward true redemption. With the support of the land and its people, Elara's journey from chaos to control, from fear to harmony, was complete, but her mission to heal and protect and just determined. With her mastery of friend and her spirit alight with purpose, I count her steps toward Varia, the kingdom that had won the brunt of her uncontrolled powers. The journey back was a pilgrimage of sorts, a path tread with the humility of one who has come to understand the depth of her own strength and the responsibility it carries. The pendant from the moon, ever present at her throat, pulsed softly with a light that seemed to guide her way, beacon of her commitment to harmony and balance. As the gates of Valoria came into view, Delarian's hearts swelled with a mix of emotion, hope, apprehension, and a fierce determination to right the wrongs of her past. The kingdom with its fields once ravaged by the storm, and its people weary from rebuilding, stood as a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. But Elara saw more than just the size of her actions. She saw potential, a canvas upon which to weave the magic of restoration and growth. Without hesitation, Elara began her work, the ancient book of wisdom always by her side, a constant source of guidance and inspiration. She moved through the fields, her hands extended, her voice whispering intentions that encouraged the earth to heal. The cock ceased to sprout and grow with a vitality that had been lost to them. Where once there was devastation, green shoots now pushed through the soil, a visible sign of the land's renewal and the heart of the kingdom. Amidst the homes and workshops that had been damaged by the storm, Elara's magic flowed like a gentle river, mending cracks, reinforcing structures, and enthusing her efforts were not unnoticed. The people of Valoria, initially wary, soon came to watch and wonder as their homes were restored, not just to their former state, and imbued with a new, and beauty. Elara's return was not just a physical journey, but a moral one. She not what the leaders of Valoria, not as a supplicant, but as an ally offering her knowledge and her magic to prevent such a catastrophe from. Together, they devised plans to harness the natural energies of the land, to protect the kingdom and its people with barriers not of stone and wood, but of wisdom and magic in balance. As the days passed, Valoria transformed. Fields became bountiful, homes became havens, and the kingdom, once marked by the scars of disaster, now thrived as a beacon of harmony between magic and nature. Lara, once feared as a bringer of chaos, was now revered as a guardian of balance, a witch who had transcended her past to become a protector of the future. But Elara knew that her work in Valoria was only the beginning. The kingdom's healing is a symbol of what could be achieved when one sought to understand and respect the natural order. She vowed to continue her journey, to share the wisdom of the ancient book and the lessons of her own journey with others, to spread the harmony she had helped foster alive across the land. In the evenings, as the sun set over the Nechuvrida kingdom, Clara would stand on the battlements of Valoria, gazing out over the land she had helped heal. The pendant around her neck, a gift from the moon, would glow softly, a reminder of the journey she had undertaken and the path that still lay ahead. Her return to Valoria was not just a homecoming, but a declaration, a promise to use her presence for the good of all, to protect and to heal, to maintain in balance that was the true essence of magic. With the kingdom of Valoria standing tall in a proud Windsor, its people living in peace and prosperity, our knew that our redemption was not merely a personal triumph but a shared victory, a testament to the power of unity and harmony. In the heart of Valoria, under a sky painted with the vibrant hues of dusk, The celebration, unlike any other, began to unfold. The kingdom, now a testament to harmony and rebirth, gathered to honor Ira, not just for the miracle she had wrought upon their lands, but for the journey she had undertaken. A journey from fear to Midgard. The transformation of Valoria mirrored her own, and in her redemption, the people found hope and her renewed belief in the power of change. The air was filled with the sound of music, a melody that danced with the whispers of the wind, a harmony that spoke of unity and peace. Tables laden with the bounty of the rejuvenated fields lined the streets, a feast to celebrate not just the end of hardship, but the beginning of a new era. And at the heart of it stood Alara, her eyes alight with the joy of belonging, of acceptance, and of a purpose fulfilled. Children, the laughter and melody in the evening air wove around her, their curiosity and delight in the magic she shared unbounded. Wara, once weary of her powers, now found joy in the simple spells she cast for their amusement, in the sparkles of light that danced in their eyes, a reflection of her own wonder. The adults, too, had courage to their expressions were of gratitude and respect, offering thanks not just for the healing of the lands, but for the restoration of their spirits. As the celebration continued into the night, the leaders of the Valoria stepped forward, their presence commanding a hush over the gathered crowd. In their hands, they held a toque woven from the finest materials, imbued with symbols of the kingdom and the natural world. It was a gift for Alara, a symbol of her role as the guardian of Valoria, a protector who stood at the confluence of magic. And mundane, ensuring the balance of it was her charge to keep. With solemnity and pride, they draped the cloak over their shoulders, the weight of it a tangible reminder of her responsibilities and her connection to the people and the land she had vowed to protect. Eularia, you came to us as a storm, but you have become our shelter. The oldest among them spoke, his voice resonant with emotion. You have taught us that strength lies in harmony, that wisdom is the companion of power. For your journey, for your transformation, we honor you not just as a witch, but as a cherished member of our kingdom. Tears glistened in Alara's eyes as she accepted the cloak, her heart full with the acceptance and love she felt from the people of Valoria. She had sought redemption, a way to make amends for the chaos of her past. But in the process, she had found a home, a place where she belonged not for the magic she wielded, but for the person she had become. As the moon rose high, casting its gentle light over the celebration, Wara took a moment to reflect on the path that had led her here. The ancient book of wisdom, the challenges she had faced, the lessons she had learned, all had shaped her into the guardian she was named. But more than that, they had shown her the beauty of connection, of community, and of the shared journey towards a better future. The celebration of Alara's redemption was a testament to the power of forgiveness, of growth, and the enduring capacity for change. In the hearts of the people of Valoria, she had found acceptance, and on her own heart, she had discovered the true essence of her magic, the ability to heal, to protect, and to unite. As the night won, The kingdom of Valoria rejoiced, not just in the miracle of the past, that in the promise of your future, a future where magic and humanity walk hand in hand. God brother burst here as the first light of dawn broke horizon, casting a golden glow over the kingdom of Valoria. It heralded more than just the start of a new day. It marked the beginning of a new era, with alliance, guidance, and collective will of its people. Valoria emerged from the shadows of its past, blossoming into a realm where magic and nature coexisted in harmonious balance, and with the scars left by the strength of under our vigilant watch, the kingdom flourished. Fields that had once been barren now teemed with life, yielding bounties that spoke of the land's rejuvenation. The architecture, inspired by the harmony between the magical and the mundane, reflected a new aesthetic that blended seamlessly with the natural world. The streams and forests, once silent witnesses to the chaos that had befallen the land, now thrived, protected by spells that ensured their purity and vitality. The people of Valoria, too, found themselves changed by the transformation that had swept through their kingdom. Nilara, they saw not just a guardian of their land, but a symbol of hope, a reminder that even the deepest wounds could heal. The unity could rise from the ashes of discord. Workshops and gatherings flourished. Spices ran magic, from craftsmanship intertwined, where mythic shared freely. How well the next generation revamps of Ilara, for her part, dedicated herself to the stewardship of this balance. With the ancient book of wisdom always by her side, she continued to explore the depths of her powers, not as a means to dominate, but as a way to serve. She forged connections with other realms, sharing the lessons of Valorie's transformation and learning in turn from the experiences of others. Her magic, once a source of fear, now became a beacon of unity, drawing to Valoria those who sought to understand the true essence of harmony between the elements. But Ilara's vow went beyond the borders of Valoria. She'd understood that the balance between magic and the mundane was a delicate one, requiring constant vigilance and an open heart. She journeyed through the land, lending her strength to other talentities, healing winds both old and new. A message of corrections. So as the seasons turned, Valoria stood as a testament to what could be achieved when individuals embraced their differences or worked together towards a common goal. Festivals celebrating harmony between magic and nature became a cornerstone of Valorian culture. Events that drew visitors from far, wide, eager to witness the miracle of the kingdom's rebirth. And in the quiet moments while the bustle of the day gave way to the peace of the evening, Eara would climb to the highest tower of Valoria, looking out over the land she had helped to heal. A pendant from the moon, ever present, glowed softly against her skin, a reminder of the journey she had undertaken and the promise she had made. In the gentle sigh of the wind, In the whisper of the leaves, she'd heard the voice of the land, a song of gratitude and of endless possibility. A new dawn for Valoria had indeed broken. A dawn where magic and the mundane danced in perfect synchrony, guided by the wisdom and the heart of their guardian. Where Lairs vowed to detect Frostbound was more than just a promise to her people. It was a covenant with the world itself, a pledge to uphold the harmony. That was the true magic of existence. And as the sun rose higher, casting its light over a kingdom reborn, Azara knew that this was only the beginning of a story that would unfold across the ages, a tale of mastery, redemption, and the enduring power of hope. And the years that followed as Valeria prospered under the watchful eye of the Lyra, tales of the guardian of balance, spread far beyond the kingdom's borders. La, once a young witch struggling with the tumult of her own powers, had become a beacon of hope and wisdom, the symbol of the delicate dance between the magical and the main day that formed the heartbeat of the world. The transformation of Valoria, from a land scarred by chaos to a realm of harmony, became a legend, inspiring those who sought to bridge the gap between worlds, to find the equilibrium Alara had fought so hard to achieve. And as the seasons turned, Anara found herself at the center of a growing community of young witches and wizards, each drawn to Valoria by the promise of learning from the guardian of balance herself. Under Elara's guidance, these young mages delved into the mysteries of magic, not as a force to be wielded for power, but as a gift to be nurtured with respect and understanding. Elara shared with them the teachings of the ancient book of wisdom, the lessons learned from her journey, and the importance of listening to the world around them. Together, they explored the depths of their abilities, discovering how to blend their magic with natural order, to heal rather than harm, to protect rather than dominate. But Elara's mentorship went beyond the wisdom of magic. She instilled in her pupils the values of compassion, of empathy, and of community, teaching them that true mastery came from the harmony within as much as from the control of the world without. The young witches and wizards under her tutelage learned to see themselves as part of a larger whole, guardians with their own right of the balance that sustained all life. As the community around Alao grew, so too did the network of guardians across the land. Valoria became a center of learning, a place where the magical and non-magical worlds intersected in mutual respect and understanding. Festivals that celebrated the unity of these realms drew visitors from near and far, each participant leaving with a deeper appreciation for the beauty and complexity of the world they shared. Alara, in her wisdom, now that the balance she had dedicated her life to protecting was an ever evolving challenge. She worked tirelessly to strengthen the bonds between the magical and mundane, to ensure that the harmony she had fought for would endure through the ages. Her efforts laid the foundation for a legacy that would outlast her, a legacy of peace, understanding, and respect that would be carried forward by those she had mentored. In the twilight of her years, as Alara looked out over the land she had helped to heal, she saw not just a kingdom, but a testament to the power of change. Dependent from the moon, now a symbol of her journey from darkness to light, from chaos to balance, glowed softly against her skin. As a reminder, not just of the path she had walked, but of the countless steps taken by those who followed in her footsteps, each one a guardian of the harmony she had cherished. Zora, the legacy, the guardian of balance. I've done that just in the tales told by the fireside or on the pages of the ancient book of wisdom, but in the hearts of all who had been touched by her magic, her wisdom, and her love. As the sun set on the horizon, casting the world amid glow of gold and crimson, the alarm wielded the harmony, the truly magical and magical world is safe, though precious gifts when trusted to the genuine man, but called to